Welcome back to Frankly Speaking here on WYDC TV Big Fox. I'm your host, Frank Acomb. We are broadcasting from the Heselson Studio, and in the Heselson Studio, Chemung County Executive Chris Moss. Welcome back.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
It's always good to see you. We've got a lot to talk about.
Certainly.
So we know that you're obviously running for re-election. How the petition's going?
Going good. Started about a week and a half ago. I think there's 2.5, 3 weeks to go. Get them done by the beginning of April and get them handed in. But no, we're in good shape.
You have to get, what, about 1,000?
Yep, about 1,000.
Okay, that's not too bad. So, I mean, this is kind of the softball question I ask everyone. Why did you decide to run for re-election?
Well, you know what? Initially, 2 terms is what I was going to do. But unfortunately, the pandemic really threw a wrench in that. I mean, nobody knew that was coming. That probably took 3 years out of the 7 I've done. I mean, it's it was every day something to do with the pandemic. So in order to finish what I wanted to finish, I'd like to run one more term.
What are you hearing when you're knocking on doors, and you're out in the public a lot, and you're talking to people on the street? What are they saying? What are their concerns about the future of Chemung County?
You know what? Probably one of the biggest questions I answer is, how's the relationship with the legislature?
Okay,
because,
sure.
at times it's been contentious. But, I tell folks, I said, look, this legislature was sworn in January 1st of 2023. During that time, over 1,800 route slips have been forwarded to the legislatures, which will turn into the resolutions. I've asked for, I think, 13 board meetings with their leadership, 12 of which they've accepted. Okay. They've never asked to meet with me once. So, I mean, when I go to those meetings, I take an agenda. They don't have an agenda, so that leads me to believe they don't have a lot of questions. But I mean, I think it's going good overall. Look, I think it's good when you have back and forth, but when it gets back and forth to the extent that you're not getting the job done that the taxpayers want you to get done, you don't want to go that far. But I don't see it that. But look, there's a lot of good things happening in Chemung County, and unfortunately, a few people would like to accentuate the negatives. But I'm very pleased with the direction Chemung County and the Southern Tier as a whole is moving.
For those that don't know, and we should set the stage here, what are your responsibilities as an executive?
So, look, the executive branch takes care of the day-to-day operations of the county. The legislative branch does the appropriations. Once the budget is complete, then it's my job to make sure that we stay in budget, and 23 departments, offices as well, the sheriff's office, DA's office, treasurer's office, make sure that everybody stays within budget, let them know when they aren't. And, everything from roads to the airport to a nursing facility to Department of Public Works to buildings and grounds, Department of Social Services. Sure. I mean, it's a big operation with 1,000 employees. But one thing I would like the public to remember is that not a one red cent gets spent without the legislature's approval. Okay. So when you hear a legislator or my opponent in this case saying, well, I'm not happy with the cost of this or the cost of that, and we purchased the old Marine Midland Bank at 150 Lake Street.
Oh, yeah.
We purchased it for about $1 million with ARP money, but we knew at that time it was going to take a couple of million to go in. All the money spent was approved by the legislature. So I don't spend any money in the executive branch without the approval of the legislature. So if someone says, you know what, I don't like the amount of money being spent, well, you approved it. So, and that's one of the concerns I have when I go around door knocking, like you said, hey, can you tell me about the sewer district? Or can you tell me about 150 Lake Street? I mean, look, and I explained, just like I explained here, I just said, look, everything that's being spent was approved by the legislature. There's a resolution to say, okay, yep, you can do this, you can do that. So the county executive, deputy executive, executive branch has no authority to spend money without the approval of the legislature. Sure. So if you see it happening, the legislature has approved it. So you can't turn around and say, I'm displeased or I'm going to look into this. You approved it.
Right. So, and that specifically, I'm glad you mentioned the sewer district, because that seemed to be an issue, and I've heard it from other people as well. Could you kind of explain, like, your side to it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a project nobody wants done, right? And it's an expensive project. It ends up raising, the rates of people who utilize the service. But at the end of the day, it's within budget. I can tell you this. Anytime there's a big fluctuation in a price, we do what's called a change order. Okay. The executive branch sends a change order up to the legislative branch, letting them know that this price has changed. I looked last week after I heard my opponent was making comments about it. 22 change orders have gone to the legislature in the last 3 years. 22.
Yeah.
So they've been made aware 22 different times that these prices were going to change, and they approved all 22 of them. We've had our executive director, Allie Rennie, does a phenomenal job with this project of the sewer district. She's been up there multiple times explaining the project. Last September, we set up a visit so we could show them the progress. They scheduled it all, and then they canceled it 2 days before, and then nobody showed up.
Okay.
But again, when I hear, we're going to look into, how the money's being spent, we have a line-by-line item that they've received and they've approved. So to be honest with you, it's all political fodder. Look, we're not spending any money. I welcome any audit, any investigate. Come look at it. It's open book. Matter of fact, it's within budget, and they're doing a phenomenal job. Allie and her team, I cannot tell you. I mean, you go over there and listen to some of the terms they use. I mean, she is juggling multiple contractors to get this work. And we have a deadline. If this isn't done by December 31st, it's $35,000 per day fine by the Fed and state.
Wow.
So, I mean, it's a project we inherited it.
Yeah.
And we have to do it. And I feel bad for people. We're seeing the rates, but I mean, the rates should about stabilize. We're hoping next year what they're at. But, you know, it was a considerable jump. But when you look at counties like Broome counties had to go through the same thing, Watkins Glen's gone through the same thing.
Sure.
Nobody wants to deal with those super expensive infrastructure projects, and unfortunately, they are expensive.
Right, and there's no political advantage for people to do because no
people,
one wants to talk
about. People are going to remember me for what? Flushing their toilet? I mean, come on.
You're going to put a plaque up on this?
Exactly. Everybody else gets a bridge or a park.
But there's also some other local issues that I think are worth mentioning. A little bit off topic from the campaign, but since I have you here, tell us a little bit about the Amazon facility that people have been talking
Certainly.
about.
Like I said, lots of good things going on in Chemung County, and Amazon is one of them. So we're anticipating 100 jobs right there, possibly 200 to 300 drivers additional to that. So it looks like the permit process is going well. As a matter of fact, when I drove by this morning, I see some groundwork being done, some trees being cut, so that's a good thing. I think we were waiting for one last DEC approval on drainage and so forth. But other than that, it's coming to fruition. And I can remember when I first became county executive in 2019, I wrote letters to Amazon trying to talk them into the 17 Aviation Drive building because I thought it would be perfect, all the warehouse space and right there connected to the airport. And, you know, we sent them booklets and so forth. Never transpired, but you know what? We'll take this.
Absolutely. I mean, Amazon facility, because Amazon's not going anywhere.
No, it's everywhere, and it's only getting bigger. So I think we're fortunate to have it here. We'll take the jobs. Again, it's just one of many things that are positive.
And the opportunities for residents, because I know even people that do the driving just on their own free time.
Certainly, yeah.
A lot of people make a lot of extra money that way. Also, what do you see as the future of the LECOM Event Center? Where are we at today? I think we've talked about this every time you've been on the program.
We have. Yeah. Look, I make no bones about it. Mark Stemmerman threw a lifeline to the IDA. Without him taking over that facility, they'd have been broke come this June or July. It's that simple. I think he's doing a great job with it. I do talk to him occasionally. I think it's going in a good direction. I know they've had a couple of sellouts at a couple of events and so forth. I always see kids down there playing hockey, which is it's an important important component there because there's not a lot of places for kids to play hockey around here. Was I satisfied with the IDA running the? Absolutely not. Wasted millions of dollars. And right there, again, I heard my opponent say they're not tax dollars. Well, let me tell you something. Since I've been county executive, the IDA receives $200,000 right from the county directly every year. Okay. So I've been county executive for 7 years, so you can do the math. $1.4 million they've gotten already. That is straight tax dollars. They've gotten another $700,000 in ARP money. That is tax dollars. Now we can argue all day long whether money they make from pilots is tax money or not, but regardless, they are to sit here and say that they don't receive tax dollars. You either don't know what you're talking about, or you're being disingenuous. One or the other, because they do receive those tax dollars. Anybody can look it up. It's common knowledge. But overall, the arena can be a key focus in downtown Elmira. I think it is. I think it's as big as it ever has been, and I think Mark's doing a great job with it. So, you know what? If there's anything the county can do to help them out, we're looking at some different things we might be able to do, but I think it's going in the right direction now that it's in private hands. Doesn't belong in public hands.
No, and I was really impressed. I was down that way, and this is going to be my segue to my next question, but down that way, that's really looking good over in that area.
It is. It does.
A lot of new businesses, restaurants, bars.
It is. It's busy. I mean, I went down through there Saturday night. Yeah. There are a lot of things going on, from illegal. It's like 4 or 5 blocks of a lot of business. So it's been a long time coming. So I hope they're successful.
And the reason I was down there, and you offer a unique perspective on this, because Bruce Blakeman was in the area, who was running for governor and Republican ticket. And I think this is interesting because he's an executive like you, and also you, of course, had the lieutenant governor run. So what are you thinking of the race so far?
I know Bruce.
Okay.
You know what? Obviously, I was a Lease fan when she first announced before he got into the race. I was 100% behind her. Now, obviously, I'll support Bruce. I think it's a whole different philosophy. He's 20 points down, I think, or maybe as of last week in the last poll I saw. A lot of work to do. Obviously, we need a big turnout in upstate New York, maybe a smaller turnout in New York City, and then Long Island's got a turnout for him. He's thinking that, since he's from that will get to Suffolk and Nassau County. So we'll see what happens. He seems to have a lot of energy. I mean, I see him all over. He's got a big social media presence. It takes money, though, so I'll be interested to see where the money's going to come from at the end of the day, because Hochul's just raking it in from all over the United States.
She has a war chest
it's
it's untouchable.
Big.
That's what was disappointing about, not to belabor this, but the Stefanik dropping out, because she's a fundraising juggernaut.
Yeah,
that would have been interesting to see.
I mean, it's always an uphill battle for statewide Republicans. So, look, all we can do is jump on and make sure we get out there and vote and hope for the best.
When you did that, you missed that? Like going all around the state like that? That was a lot of work.
It was a lot of work. You met a lot of interesting people, though.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I enjoyed it. I don't think I would do it again knowing what I know today.
Sure.
And, unless I had $25 million in the bank.
Right.
It's tough for anybody to do. And... I don't know. I don't know. Not for lieutenant governor. Maybe for governor.
Hey, you heard it here first. Well, just before we go, I think we covered just about everything. But what does the year look like ahead for Chemung County?
Look, so for the first time ever, we're going to have a State of the County address. That's going to be at the end of the month.
Cool.
Other counties do it. I've gone to the State of the address the last 2 years. And you know what? It kind of is a good idea, because I think what it lets you do is show everybody all the good things that are happening. It's like a pep rally. And to be honest with you, an election year, what better time to do it, right?
That's the year to start.
Exactly. But what we have is a comprehensive plan. So with the ARP funding, we were paying for a comprehensive plan. It's going to go to the legislature hopefully in May or June. So, and again, I hear my opponent say we need a comprehensive plan. He sits on the committee for the last 24 months of this overall comprehensive plan. It's going to be nice. So we'll get it to the legislature hopefully in May or June. But I think the comprehensive plan meshes well with our State of the County address, and it just talks about things like Siemens, Amazon, all the generational manufacturing businesses we have in Chemung County, and how fortunate we are, with the airport and so forth. So I'm looking forward to it. I think we'll get a good crowd. We'll be able to showcase everything that's positive going on in Chemung County.
All right, just before we go, how can people get involved with your campaign? It's petition season. If they want to help, what's the best way?
Certainly. You can just log on to www.mossforexec.com. There's contact buttons through there, and reach out. And whether it's a yard sign, you want to carry a petition, you want to give $10, whatever you want to do, we appreciate it.
Well, Chris, thanks for giving us so much time this morning. Let's do it again soon.
You got it.
All right, we'll be right back with Frankly Speaking after this.